Absolutely massive news. Uh, Trump's first rap hit is now number one. I'm sorry, number two, rightfully so, I guess, on the iTunes music chart. Donald Trump rap song First Day Out that uses AI generated voice to sing about avoiding jail hits number two on the iTunes chart. A faux rap song that features AI generated voice of Donald Trump is defending himself against the criminal indictment out of Georgia has jumped to the number two spot on the iTunes rap chart. People keep saying that Trump isn't popular. I just don't believe them. Hi-Rez the rapper, who described himself as a radical freedom extremist, released the song on August 25th, one day after Trump posted his August 24th mugshot to X, formerly Twitter. His song has been viewed nearly 3 million times on X and has shot to the top of the hip-hop charts since its release. The digital imitation of the former president's voice is nearly identical to the real-life 2024 candidate. In the song, Hi-Rez imagines how Trump responded to being booked and released on bond charges and attempting to overturn the 2020 election, allegedly. Out on bail, I won't see the inside of a cell. The AI-produced Trump the Don sings. I'm going to beat them RICO charges, and if I go to prison, you can't do me like the Clintons. I'll be laid up eating steak with Secret Service chillin'. The roughly 90-second song hits on many of Trump's favorite topics, which he is often heard discussing with crowds at mega rallies and during the public speaking appearances. Screaming Orange Man bad, the whole world mad, thug life, shout out all my mega-based chads, raps Trump the Don. Coming for the deep state. Hi-Rez City came up with a catchy song after Trump's booking last week. The whole creative process took him about 30 minutes. Right-wing pundits and members of the online Trump universe began circulating and praising the song, driving up its viewership in the last several days. Don Trump Jr. called the song hilarious, and commentator Candace Owens called it absolutely genius as she danced along with the video earlier this week on her YouTube show. I saw her dancing. It was not great. I'll play a little bit of it here. On several occasions in the past, Trump had met with famous rappers, including now infamously Ye West at Trump Tower, Snoop Dogg, Lil Jon, who stints on The Celebrity Apprentice, and Lil Wayne, who endorsed Trump's criminal justice reform efforts ahead of the 2020 election. Last week, Trump made major history, becoming the first former president to pose for a mugshot following his arrest for trying to allegedly overturn the election. The 77-year-old was booked in jail following his fourth indictment at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta on Thursday, and afterwards shared a mugshot on X, formerly known as Twitter. Well, what's great about that, what's hilarious about that, is that because of that mugshot, we're going to talk about it, I believe he raised $20 million in August. $9 million in the days directly after. 9 million doll hairs in the days directly after. And you have here a picture of Hi-Rez. Shout out Hi-Rez. After booking, Trump declared on the tarmac that it was a very sad day for America. Big agree. He said it was a travesty of justice. Also big agree. You know, when they weaponize our legal system to gain political points with their own constituents, which is what I believe this is, not only is it a grave sign of what's to come in the future, but also that when our Justice Department is working on stuff like this, which I view as an incredible stretch, you know, unless there's an immense amount of information that I don't know about, they're not working on protecting U.S. citizens from, you know, all the terrible things that we see, on Twitter every single day. I mean, all of the insanity. Some dude just got pummeled for trying to stop another guy from pummeling his own dog. There's all sorts of just terrible things. I mean, look at New York, California. I think once every 10 hours, someone ODs on fentanyl in San Francisco. That's the latest number. Once every 10 hours. I mean, that's insane. You look at, there was an article yesterday about the train crisis in California, Philadelphia, San Francisco, New York. I'll say her in the middle crushed it. She crushed it. This guy, not a good look. Giuliani, not looking good. I'm not a big fan of Giuliani. You know, he's weird. When he had his like hair dye leaking down his head, like he's just too goofy for me. There may have been some things that he did in the past or whatever that people like, and that's fine. But I'm not a big Giuliani guy. He was instrumental in getting the laptop out there, which is a thing too, which helps. But here's a little sample of I'm sure High Res. Make sure you go follow High Res at High Res the rapper. Let him know the quartering sent you. Let's take a little sample here.
I want to go to LA.
Well, shout out Patriot J, Benny Johnson, Big Bongino, Alex Jones. Free my dogs and lock up the radical left's gone crazy.
Hey, where's my shout out, Rez? Come on, man.
I don't bail, I won't see inside a cell. Shout out Thugger, free my slime, slat, YSL. They tryna lock me up, but I'm plugged in ATL. Got homies doing life in jail, they living in hell. These DAs acting silly, my mugshot is worth a billy. So some merchant made a milli, shot me milli out in Philly.
I mean, the flow's good. I think the flow's pretty good. I think that you know, he could probably it would be great if Trump actually went and recorded this.
Baby shot the Sosa, Benny Butcher, them my rollers called me racist, but these rappers riding with me, them my soldiers. Mega, I am not who they are after. I'm just in the way they want to get to you, but I won't let them cold-hearted. No, I'm artist, getting back to where I started. Yeah. I don't need to do the
it's whatever, you know. It's I think it's cool that, you know, people they're making like you know, careers off of this kind of stuff. You know, it's weird how things are going to go with Trump. I actually wonder if he can delay all these prosecutions and these court dates long enough, if he could pardon himself as president. You know, I don't know. A lot of people, I think it's some kind of foregone conclusion that he would easily win against Joe Biden. But I will caution people that if you, in fact, do want Donald Trump to be your president, don't do that. That's what Hillary Clinton did in 2016, remember? Remember when it was her time and she just mailed it in and stopped campaigning the last month? You know? I don't know, like, I mean, I'm not sure if I'd bang that in my car or not, but it's funny. It's a funny thing, and it's, of course, it's backfired spectacular. I mean, there's Chicago rapper Bandman Kevo got Donald's scowling mugshot tattooed on his thigh as merchandise supercharges campaign funding by more than $7 million in a week. $1 million a day poured in after they took that mugshot. I mean, I think that, you know, these criminal proceedings are set to drain his campaign funds, but getting $20 million in August in campaign funds, you know, funneled in, I think it's pretty smart. Or it's going to offset it at minimum, right? And also Trump said he's open to Vivek Ramaswamy being a VP pick. Ex-president calls entrepreneur 38, who's 38, smart, full of talent, but warns he's getting a little bit controversial. He says he's a very, very, very intelligent person. He's got good energy, and he could be some form of something, Trump told radio host Glenn Beck. Well, I think that I called this at the debate, that Vivek standing by Trump during those RNC debates gave him the front run to the VP role. Trump loves people that suck up to him. I mean, most people do. That's not like a uniquely Trump thing. But you know, I wouldn't hate Vivek as a VP. Then we can kind of see how things are going. You know, I'd rather Vivek at VP than anybody else on the RNC debate stage. I'll put it that way. Maybe Tim Scott. You know, I think it'll be interesting to see. You know, I feel way better about Vivek as a VP than I do about voting for him for president. So it could be pretty interesting. He's so young. He's 38. He could be the VP for 4 years. He's only 42 and he can run for president. You know, it'll be interesting to see it all play out. But Trump still got pull. Trump fundraising spikes after Fulton County mugshot, surpassing $20 million in August alone. The campaign says it will only be used for political campaign activities, not to cover legal expenses. Well, that's going to give him a lot of ammo, I would say. It'd be interesting to see.